In this video, I will show you how to factor difference of two squares. These are called difference of two squares because difference means subtracting. We have this minus sign over here. And two squares because we have two terms and both of them are perfect squares. Here's why. 4 is 2 times 2, so that's a perfect square. X squared is x times x, so I can write that down. And 81 is 9 times 9. And when you have a difference of two squares, we can write the factors as 2x plus 9 and 2x minus 9. So just remember, one positive, one negative. For this example, we have a minus sign, so we know we can factor this. 9 is 3 times 3, and x squared is x times x, and 25 is 5 times 5. So the factors are going to be 3x plus 5 and 3x minus 5. For this example, we have two different variables, but that's okay. We still have a difference, and we still have two terms that are both perfect squares. 100 is 10 times 10. M squared is m times m. 49 is 7 times 7. And n squared is n times n. So even though we have two variables, we do it the same way. So 10m plus 7n and 10m minus 7n. For this example, we have a difference, and so we know we can factor it. And so here, p squared is p times p, so that's a p. And 4 is 2 times 2. So that means the two factors are going to be p plus 2 and p minus 2. For this example, we have a minus, so we can factor this. So 4 is 2 times 2. But now what is new here is we have m to the fourth power, not just m squared. So m to the fourth power, that just means we have 4 m's multiplied together, which is going to be the same as m squared multiplied with m squared. So as you can see, the square root of m to the fourth power is just going to be m to the second power. And here, 1 times 1 is 1. So for our answer, our factors is going to be 2m squared plus 1 and 2m squared minus 1. Here we have a minus sign, so we know it's going to be a difference, so we can factor this. So square root of 64 is 8 times 8, and n to the fourth is m squared times m squared. 49 is 7 times 7. So for the answer, we have 8n squared plus 7 and 8n squared minus 7. So for this example, I just want to take time to explain to you why we can factor difference of squares, but if it's a sum, if it's an addition like this orange one, it does not work. So let's factor it using the traditional way. So 4, what times what is 4? We can do 2 times 2. What times what is 9? Which is 3 times 3. And then we cross multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. But you see what we have missing is we have the middle term missing. B is equal to 0. So for B to be 0, you need to have a positive 6 and a negative 6. And copy those signs over. And so you see when we double check, the negative 3 and positive 3 multiplied together gives you a negative 9. So this is why we know that our factors are going to be 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. But if I try the same thing over here, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, and then when we cross it, we get 6 and 6. But we're trying to get 0. The only way a 6 and a 6 can be 0 is if we have one positive, one negative. But you see how this does not pass the double check, because a positive times a negative does not give you a positive 9. So there is no way to factor sum of two squares. So when you see an addition, you cannot factor. Only a subtraction. So this one can't factor. And now we are going to put everything that we just learned in this video all together in one example. So here we can factor this because we have a subtraction sign. So x to the fourth is x squared times x squared. 16 is 4 times 4. So we know we can have the two factors is going to be x squared plus 4 and x squared minus 4. But we are not finished, because over here, for the first factor, this is a addition, so I know we can't do anything with it. But here we have a subtraction, and we can further break this down. So x squared is x times x, and 4 is 2 times 2. So we know that for this part, we get x plus 2 and x minus 2. And then this first factor, this x squared plus 4, because it is an addition, there's nothing that we can do except copy it down. So this whole thing, all three factors, is the final answer.